All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we're going to be wrapping up the OP10 new leaders. We got all 6 of them done now after today. We're doing Red, Blue, Caesar, Clown. I will link all the other videos I've done on the other 5 leaders down in the comment section below. But today, the final one, we left a pretty spicy one for last, guys. Red, Blue, Caesar, Clown. We're going to be having a little bit of fun with this, guys. But before we get into that, let me go ahead and break down the video for you. First things first, we're going to check out the deck list. We're going to look at some of the new cards that are out so we kind of know what to expect and kind of know what's going on. And we'll talk about the leader. Notice the leader is in like Japanese on here. We'll actually read what the leader does and see how it functions and things like that. So we'll check out the deck list first, break it down and see what's going on. Then we'll go through 5 games on the sim. The 5 games we have today are going to be Usopp. 2 games against Usopp, excuse me. 1 game against Boa, a game against Red, Purple, Luffy, and a game against Green, Yellow, Law. Okay, so we got some pretty cool games lined up for today. All right, now pretty standard. Other than that, afterwards we'll finish up the games. We'll talk about the deck list one more time, and we'll kind of wrap it up in that way. Okay, guys? I'll have everything time-stamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and things like that down in the comment section below. As usual, guys, if you ever have any comments, questions, suggestions, anything like that, if I missed something, do not be afraid to post it in the comment section below. Let's just please be respectful, okay, guys? All right. Oh, and another thing, too. Another thing to check out is the Discord. If you're not on the Discord yet, hop on there. If you don't, if you're a Discord person, not everyone uses Discord, I know, but the link is to the channel description, and we're talking about One Piece TCG 24/7 in there, guys, all the time now. It's a really good time. I've been blessed with a really incredible community. Come hang out with us on there whenever you get a chance. Okay? And one more thing before we get into it is I stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays now on YouTube. Okay? Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern. Be sure to stop by there when you can as well. We have a good time on there, and I can interact and react to comments, to the chat in real time, which is really nice. Okay? All right, now we can get into this. So first things first, we do need to go over the list real quick. And I think this might have been the only list where I kind of modified the list and made it my own. I could be wrong about that. I might have copy pasted it, but I think I actually kind of made this one up a little bit as I went because I was having a lot of trouble with this leader. We're going to talk about that. Sit up in my chair real quick. Okay, adjust my mic. That would help. Hopefully I wasn't blasting y'all's eardrums out. I had to adjust the mic there. But yeah, so here's the leader, right? Let's read the leader and we'll talk about it because, like I said, I had a little bit of trouble with this list at first. It was a struggle. But we have a 5,000 power 4 life leader. Okay, Dawn ×2. When attacking, you may return one of your Punk Hazard type characters with a cost of 2 or more to the owner's hand, and then you can KO a 4,000 power character or less. That is very powerful, right? So that effect there is potentially very powerful. However, this is still a game of One Piece where you do have to play on a certain curve, and sometimes certain cards are just better on curve than what we might be trying to do with this leader currently. In the future, who knows, right? In the future, there might be cards that can really help do what we're doing here. For example, a card we're about to talk about is, I can't even see it here, it is Monet. We're going to talk about this card. This card is absolutely incredible for the deck. We'll talk about that in just a second. But it's like instead of playing out a card like this Smiley, by the way, this is a 5-cost card, on play, minus 3,000 power to one of your opponent's characters. And then think about it. If you're on a 7 Dawn turn, well, I can play this out for 5 and then attach 2 to my leader, pop a 7,000 power character with a combination of these 2 cards, and then, swing 7. However, here's the thing. I would almost rather just play out a Ben Beckman. Now, yes, it is true. This would hit something that's 1,000 power larger than what Ben Beckman could hit, but this establishes a body along the way. And that's something that we're going to have to find a way to balance properly in the deck and in the list. But let me not talk too much about that. I think you'll see what I'm saying when we get into the games. But anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and break down the list now. So we know what the leader effect does. Pause and read this if it didn't quite make sense. Read it a few times until it really sinks in. Okay, we're not going to talk about the cards. We already know what they do. Let's go to the OP10 cards. Virgo, we did talk about this in Red, Green, Smoker. This is our Punk Hazard Searcher. Very, very important searcher for the deck. And remember, unfortunately, we cannot pull this back with our leader effect. It has to be a cost 2 or more character with a Punk Hazard type. That's very unfortunate. I know some people would think like, oh, maybe that'd be broken pulling this back every time. Would it be though? I mean, you have to really ask yourself that question. Maybe it would be, but at the same time, it's like, okay, you know, there are other decks that can pull back the one cost searchers, right? Like Green Yellow Law. I was showing that off actually a few days ago now. But that deck can pull back the searcher, and you don't have to pull your life down if you don't want to. You reveal your life, but you don't have to play it out. You don't even have to have a life. You can just pull back your searchers nonstop by attaching one Dawn. So I sometimes I just have to say this, and we will move on. Don't worry, guys. I'm not going to rant for too long. I really have to question what the idea is with some of these. Like, if they're going to lock it to Punk Hazard, why do they also have to lock it to 2 cost or less, right? That's my thing. Because I understand locking it to Punk Hazard, because comboing with something like Otama, that might be a little too powerful, like more powerful than intended, right? But if you're going to already lock it to Punk Hazard and you're going to build cards specifically for the deck that we're going to talk about in a minute, it's odd to me that they would also limit the cost. I wish we had a little extra utility here to pull back the searchers. Again, maybe it'd be broken, but I don't think the leader is broken as is. Let me say that right now, guys. Who knows? Maybe we just have to see find the right list. So we got the searcher over with. That's Virgo here. Next up is Sanji. This was also in the red-green smoker list. This is just a quality Punk Hazard card, period. The 2K counter as well, and this 2K, both of these 2K counters, and we'll get in those in a second as well. But there's like these, let me say this. When it comes to Punk Hazard, the 3-cost Sanji, the 4-cost Chopper, and the 3-cost Mocha, these are just pretty solid quality, high utility 2K count, high utility Punk Hazard cards. So this card, it's a 3-cost, 3,000 power, 1K counter. On KO, draw a card, and on your turn, it's a plus 3,000 power character. So it's going to let us attack in very aggressively. Next up, we have Caesar Clown. This is just a 7-cost, 7K body, but it can on play. It has no counter, but listen to this on play, guys. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck and reveal up to 1 Smiley and put it into your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order, and then play up to 1 Smiley from your hand. So this is kind of like a really big, souped-up version of Ohm, like the Ohm and Holy package that they have in Enel and Sky Island. This is like a really big version of that, because the card that you're going to cheat out would be something like this Smiley. There is another Smiley. Let me bring that up real quick. We'll talk about that as well, because maybe this is a card we need to consider as well. I'm not completely dismissing this card. There might be something here, but we'll talk about it in a minute. This is the card that, because guys, this came out in OP01, this Smiley, but this red one, the red Smiley came out in OP10 with this Caesar Clown. And this is the card we were just looking at. It's a 5-cost, 6K, 1K counter that has on play, if your leader's Punk Hazard, minus 3,000 power to your opponent's character. So there is a tempo play where you can go, okay, play out a 7-cost 7K, search up a 5-cost 6K potentially, and play it out. So for 7 Dawn, you're getting a 7-cost 7K and a 5-cost 6K and minus 3,000 power to a character. And remember, you're going to be able to pull these cards back with your leader's effect potentially. So very good stuff there. The blue one, I'm not running this one. I am considering running this one, but I'm just not there with it yet. It's a 3-cost, 1,000 power, 1K counter character, so it seems like severely understated. But listen to what it does. Dawn times 1, your turn. This character gains plus 1,000 power for each card in your hand. So if you can start building up a lot of hand advantage, like maybe if you run like Sanji's Pilafs or something, and just try to like generate lots and lots and lots of card advantage, the card could be decent. But other than that, I'm not a huge fan of what it is in this specific list. Because one thing I noticed is I could be wrong. I can't remember exactly, but it's not like we're generating insane amounts of card advantage. Now, cards like Jozu do allow us to generate card advantage, right? But generally speaking, we'll see in the games today. I can't remember exactly, but I just think that, like, I don't think this would be insane in what we're doing right now. 2K counter Chopper. It's a 4-cost 4K, 2K counter blocker, opponent's turn plus 2,000. So essentially, this is a 4-cost 6K blocker with a 2K counter. It's just hard to go. It's hard to go wrong, and it's Punk Hazard searchable, and it's Straw Hat searchable, you know, for other decks. So then we have Mocha. This is a 3-cost 3,000 power 2K counter. So this is a card that I started learning very quickly. That it's like, okay, this is actually a card just built for Caesar Clown. It's kind of like this 5 Dawn play you can do, where it's like, okay, play out the Mocha, minus 1,000 power to a character. That drops a 5,000 power character down to 4,000 in range of your leader effect. And then you attach 2 Dawn, swing in for 7, you're popping their character and grabbing a card back to hand. That seems like it's really good, but you're not exactly gaining tempo, right? You're just nullifying, you're negating the tempo they developed on the last turn. So that's where I'm not a huge fan of this interaction. It just doesn't seem quite as good to me. Now, this next card does. This next card is Monet. This is a 2-cost 3K 1,000 counter. With Activate Main, rest this character and give up to 2 Rested Dawn cards to your leader or one of your characters. Then give up one of your opponent's characters minus 1,000 power during this turn. This card is nasty, right? This card is really nasty. This is the kind of card, like nasty in a good way, right? Like really strong. This is the kind of card I want for Black Yellow Linlin. I want a way to attach 2 Dawn to my leader, right? For playing out this card and maybe like, I don't know the effect it'd be in Black Yellow Linlin, but I need a way to attach 2 free Dawn to my leader. Well, 2 free Dawn, right? To my leader with something like this in Linlin. But long story short, guys, this card is very strong. It is a 2 cost 3k, like I said. That part's not super relevant. The 2 cost is very relevant, and then the 1k counter is nice as well. Punk Hazard and Don Quixote Pirate searchable. But here's what makes this card so nice, right? Activate main, resting this character, and giving up the 2 rested Dawn cards to your leader or one of your characters. Okay, so you play it out for 2, and then you immediately attach 2 Dawn to your leader. Well, guess what? Our leader needs to have 2 Dawn for the effect. So that part makes it pretty much free, and then you do minus 1,000 power to one of their characters. So what you're going to be doing is playing this out for 2, and then resting it, attaching the 2 Dawn to your leader, minus 1,000 power to their 5k body, and then we attack for 7, popping their character and pulling this character back to our hand. That is actually like twice as good as what Mocha is, right? Because we don't have to spend an extra 3 Dawn. Like, we don't have to spend 3 Dawn and then attach 2 Dawn to our leader. No, it's pay 2 Dawn, and then the 2 Dawn you invested goes directly to your leader. So this card is like tailor-made for our leader. This card is excellent. Next up is Newgate. This is another card that I just think is pretty decent, along with this Bari pistol. So, okay, Newgate can pop a 5,000 power character or less. It can attach a Dawn to a leader or a character when it comes into play. This is just a nice utility card. And since we're already running Otamas, we're running Monets, we're running Mocha, we have a lot of power reduction. So this card is actually just pretty good at all times in the game for us. But this is an older card, right? This came out, back in ST15. Which is not old, but like, this isn't from OP10 is what I'm trying to say. Same thing with this Caesar Clown. You might think, some people may have never seen this card. Like, where did this card come from? This is an OP01 card, guys. 4 cost, 5k, 1k counter, scientist, punk hazard type, so it's punk hazard searchable, and it has on KO, play 1 smiley card from your deck, then shuffle your deck. So the thing I really like about this card, it's a 4 cost, 5k beater, and then, okay, when you attack in with it and they KO it on the crackback, okay, we'll just grab Smiley from our deck. So we'll take our entire deck, search through it. There are not many cards in this game that do that right now, right? So we can search through our deck, thin out our deck, play out a Smiley, and then it becomes our turn after that, right? So the minus 3,000 power is actually very relevant. If they go into attack our character first to pop it, well, okay, now we can give minus 3,000 power to one of their other attacking characters, and that's for the turn, right? It just says if your leader has punk hazard type, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 3,000 power for this turn. So you can shut down another attack with them just trying to KO this card. So I do like this card quite a bit, and it's searchable by our punk hazard searcher. Really good stuff. And then the last one we have to talk about, we talked about Jozu a little bit, but this has been out since OP08. The one last card we have to really talk about from OP10 is Bari Pistol. This is a, it is not really searchable by Punk Hazard, but here's the thing. It is a 5 cost that can bottom deck a 6,000 power character or less, right? It bottom decks it, guys. This is not KO. This is not, it's not bounce back to hand. It's bottom decking a card. So 5 costs, activate main, 5 cost main effect here. Place up to one of your opponent's characters with 6,000 power or less at the bottom of the owner's deck, and the trigger does the same thing. Okay, and it's not off of their base power, so we can pop them with an Otama, we can pop them with a Mocha or a Monet to drop them down and get something bigger in that way. So this card is pretty good. I'm testing it. I think someone asked me to test this card. I do think it's nice because it bottom decks the card. So if we're trying to play around on KO effects, then we have the Ben Beckmans and we have the Bari Pistol now. One thing I will say, after testing and after we look at the games, we'll talk about it more, but maybe this card should be another Ben Beckman and another Bari Pistol. Who knows? We'll figure it out. Okay, so that's it for the list, guys. Let's go ahead and hop into these games. We do have 5 games to go over here. We got a game against Usopp up first here. Okay, so, whoop, there we go. Here we go. Volume is already off. The speed is on 2x, and here we go. We're good to go. We're off to the races. So first thing here, we did not get a great start. We did not get a turn 1 searcher. We're going second. Usopp's going to go turn 1 stage and pass. I don't know if that was a mistake. Oh, no, okay, excuse me. They did not pass yet. I was like, wait, what's going on? They should have at least attacked with their leader. They're going to play out 3 bodies on the board. Seems good. And swing in 4 or 5. Do we want to take this early? Probably not. Let's just go ahead and counter with a smiley because we can potentially search those up later with the 4 cost 5K Caesar Clown. Okay, we're going to come in for 6 here. See what they give us. They've done a lot of searching. And, okay, they're going to give us a 2K counter. We'll play out a Sanji and pass the turn. So there you go. So there's the first problem I have for the most part with, with the leader effect. Because, okay, I play Red Yellow Sabo as my main, right? And the only way to deal with cards on the board with this effect is us going backwards in momentum. We're going backwards in tempo. Like, yes, we're popping one of our opponent's characters, but we have to return our own character. So in other words, instead of me being able to just attach 2, swing 7, and pop one of these bodies, can't do it because I don't have a target on the field to pull back. That's a legal target. So that's a little bit frustrating for Red-Blue Caesar Clown, but we'll have to find ways to play around that. Or just hope for better pulls. That could happen too. All right, so right here we're going to swing for 5, and I'd rather just play out some tempo here, guys. I think is what's going to happen. We're going to swing 5, they take it. Swing 6, they take it. Play out Jozu, bounce this back, pull back your Cavendish. Now he has nothing to attack into with the stage, and we're good again. Swings in for 5. We reuse the Sanji immediately. They play out a Kairos. They can't bounce my 6 cost because he can only bounce a 5. And here we go. And that was a Rebecca play, guys, popping out the Kairos and the Cavendish. Okay, swing for 6, swing for 7, and we're going to have a Ben Beckman here popping your Cavendish. They do still get to draw a card from that with their leader effect, but still, it's a good effect to have. And now we have 2 7K bodies on the board. They're down to 1 life. We have Rushers in hand. It doesn't look much like a Caesar Clown deck, right? Okay, he did get to attack in with a with another Cavendish there, but we counter out. Let's see if he goes 9 into 7 here. I think we should save this, and we do. Yep, and now, guys, what's he going to do now? He has 3 Dawn active. He needs to play out an Idio or a Bartolomeo. That works as well. But here we go, guys. Again, I'm not sure what he's supposed to do in this situation, right? So I'm going to swing for 7, 7, 9, 9. That's where we're at right now. And if I need to, I can pop that Bartolomeo. Like, if he doesn't give me what I want here, okay, so let's see what happens. I'm going to tell you what I should do next year because we're actually... Well, actually, I don't have a character to pull back. So here we go. So we're going to play out the Mocha. We're going to minus 1,000 power there. It doesn't matter. We're actually just going to swing in for 9 here. Pulling back the Mocha, popping the Bartolomeo. He will get to draw a card from that effect, I believe, unless he chooses not to. I'm not sure. But I think he might just be up against the ropes here, right? Because if he can't get out of this 9K attack here, the next attack's going to be for 10. I'm still on 2 life. I have double 2K counter and a 1K in hand. It's a tough spot, and he's going to pass. Let's see what he had. So I guess he got the 2K counter Sabo for the turn. He only had 2K counter in hand. So I came in for 9. This is not going to get him out of the 10K attack. Good game to my opponent. The other option there, the other option I had there was actually swing out with the Dragon, where I think I should have gone 7, 7, 9, 9. So I think we had a little bit of a mess up there, but it might have turned out to be the same thing in the end anyway. I'm not sure. But good game to my opponent there. Usopp is still a very strong deck. We all know that. All right, next game we have another one versus Usopp. This is not the same opponent, guys. I don't do rematches and stuff like that on the sim. These are just random players. So here we go. The volume is off. The speed is on 2x. We're good to go. They play out with a Leo. They get to go first again. I would prefer going first, but at the same time, I have a decent turn 2 play now. Or a turn 1 play with Monet, right? I can just play that if I need to. It might be a little bit risky, though, to be honest. I don't know if it's the right play to just play it out like this. I'd rather just have a Searcher. That would be the most ideal situation. Okay, so here we go. They're going to go ahead and they used another Leo. They're trashing. They're doing a lot of hand fixing right now. They trashed a Zoro and a Cavendish because I think they showed another Zoro earlier on and another Cavendish from the original Leo search. So we're going to swing for 5 this right here. Then we're going to swing in for 7 with our leader, pulling back that card, popping a Leo, and their turn. So we did get 2 attacks in. We're taking cards from their hand. We're popping cards on the board. We're doing okay. We're doing all right. Okay, they play out a Sabo. They know I have the Monet in hand, but I guess they have to do something here, right? Right here, let me see what I choose to do. I think the right call is just to play out Monet. I think I should go Virgo, Monet, Sanji. Yep, and I think that's what we're going to do. Oops, I play out the other one. Okay, so I guess that's fine. I'm dropping it down by 2. I think that was me just not realizing that I could pop a 5,000 power character with just one activation. I think that was just a play mistake, guys, just being completely honest with you. But hey, it does work as a blocker. We'll take that, right? We end up blocking out with it or countering out, same idea. And then they're going to swing, they're going to pop it down a Zoro, popping my guy, or plop down a Zoro, popping my guy, and play it out of Bartolomeo. Okay, but we did get a Rayleigh right on curve. We'll take it every time. We're going to go -3 there, -2 there, popping the blocker so he can't counter out and draw with it, right? So the idea there was we don't want to let him have the blocker. He had 6 cards in his hand, so if we KO his character, he won't draw a card, right? I think that five or less cards in hand. So we go -3 to Zoro, -2 to the Leo, and then we pop the 3,000 power body. We swing in for 5 after that, you know, and then he can't really counter out. So it's, you know, they can't generate any extra card advantage was the idea. All right, now they're going to slam down a Frankie. They still have 5 Dawn left to work with. Let's see what they choose to do with this. That card, Frankie's really nice, guys, if y'all haven't messed with that yet. If you're playing any kind of blue-black deck, Frankie might be one of those cards you have to just start trying to include at this point. It might just be that good. But okay, so here we go. So again, they have 5 Dawn left. What are they going to do? They're going to swing for 5. Taking this would be very greedy. I don't think I should. Yeah, play out the counter out with a Sanji. Okay, now they're going to swing in with 8. We'll take that one. And that was their entire turn. Guys, that was their entire turn. So let's see what we have here. We're going to go ahead and play out the Newgate, attach a free Dawn to my Caesar Clown. I'm probably going to play out a Monet here, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I think I should. Looking back, guys, I'm going to pause and tell you what I think I should do here. I think I should play out the Virgo, and then I think I should play out the Monet, and then I can -1 with it to the Zoro, attaching 2 Dawn for free to my Caesar Clown, and then swing 8 into the Zoro, popping the Leo, and then I can swing with my Rayleigh. So let's see what happens. I think they might be still searching for a target in their trash. I don't think it's my turn yet. Or I don't have priority yet. We're just waiting for them to use the Frankie. They just need to grab back a Bartolomeo or a Idio. They end up just passing the game. They end up just surrendering, conceding. I know this was not the greatest game to show off, but I think they got to the point where it's like, okay, what are they going to play out next turn, right? So look at their hand. They have double Kairos. Okay, they could red rock one of my guys, but then what? Because remember, so they're going to pull something back with a Frankie. I'm just going to clobber the board. I'm not going to go for life. I'm going to keep clobbering their board. And then, so their whole board will be gone. And then if you just play out a red rock to get rid of one of my guys and swing at the other one, I have a lot of counter power in hand. I'm going to save it, and then I have nothing but tempo going forward, and I can knock them down from there. So good game to my opponent. I'm not saying they should have given up there. I think they gave up a little bit early, but at the same time, they were in a very, very bad position. All right, next up we have a game versus Boa Hancock. This is always like a very strong... Yeah, Boa seems like it's always strong if you build it around the 7 Warlords and you know how to use the leader effect properly. They're going to go first. We just go second every game, I guess, guys. I don't think we necessarily want to, but hey, with the Monet, that is pretty decent. It's not terrible. Okay, so they're going to swing for 6 here. We do have a 2K counter. I'm going to counter out early in case they're playing around pudding ideas. We don't want to let them have that. Okay, so here we go. Let's see how we choose to do this. Yep, we're going to... Okay, so notice what I did there, guys. I play out the 4-cost Caesar Clown, and then I'm going to use the Monet to rest it to attach 2 Dawn to my my leader for free. Right, rest the Monet, -1,000 to one of their characters, and attach 2 rested Dawn to my leader. Now I can swing in and pop one of their characters and pull the Monet back so it's safe. Now, which character would you KO here? Pop quiz, guys. You know, trivia question here. Pop quiz. Which character are you KOing here? Swinging in for 7, pulling that back, popping the Sengoku. That's right. I don't care about those Trafalgar Laws, but that Sengoku, if they start pulling that Sengoku back with cards like Trafalgar Law, the 4-cost Trafalgar Law, well, now they're going to start generating tempo and advantage. Make sure you're always popping the right targets, guys, when there's a lot of options. There's the Trafalgar Law. Imagine if they could have pulled back the 1-cost Sengoku and bounced back my guy like that. It would have been devastating. Okay, so right here, we're doing things correctly. Unlike the last game we just saw, this game we did things correctly. Where it's like, okay, play out the Monet, -1,000 to the 5,000 power character. I'm popping a 4, pulling back the Monet, and I still have 4 Dawn for the turn. Does he want to keep allowing me to play out these cards? Maybe. That's fine. If he wants to keep bouncing my card with Trafalgar Law, be my guest. I'm not really necessarily in a rush, at this point of the game, at this stage of the game. They're going to swing in for 7, so I do give them a 2K, 1K. They're going to use the Trafalgar Law, their trick to bounce it back, playing out the buggy, and then they're going to do a top 3 search, or top 3 set. All right, here we go. We're up to 8 Dawn, I believe. Yep, we're on 8 Dawn. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to slam down the Caesar Clown, maybe. Well, no, I thought we were going to do the 7 cost. But no, we end up not doing that. That's okay. But now we're going to play out a 3 cost and a 3 cost. Let's see if he can Gravity Blade. This guy's had all the answers just back to back. Let's see if he has a Gravity Blade here to get rid of my 2 on KO effects. He's going to do a Sengoku search, and he still has 8 Dawn left for the turn. But at some point, he's going to have to play something, right? He's going to have to play some type of characters at some point, or we're just going to keep outpacing the board. Okay, so again, just waiting on my opponent here. They swing for 5. Let me make sure we're on 2x speed. Yep, we're good. We're on 2x speed. They're going to swing for 5. We're going to give them the 1k counter. They're going to Jozu to bounce back a card. That's not as bad at this stage of the game. They keep playing out these 1-cost Trafalgar Law blockers. That's an interesting tech idea in this deck, but I'd rather just have the 1-cost searchers every time. I'd rather have Peronas. I'd rather have, I mean, I guess Perona's not as good in Boa, but I'd rather have, excuse me, I'd rather have that, the Boa, the Buggies, and the Sengokus. Okay, going to pull that back. So what just happened there? Sorry, guys, I got a little bit carried away there. So right here, we're going to swing for 6. Then we're going to plop down the Silver's Rayleigh and watch what happens, guys. So we're swinging for 6 first. We have 10 Dawn to work with this turn. They give me a 2k counter. Now we're going to go, okay, boom. Notice the little 3, 2, 1 backwards there with the Rayleigh. We go -3 here, -2 there, pop there. And here we go. I have 2 Dawn left. We're going to attach 2 Dawn to my leader. I'm going to swing 7 at face, pulling back the Sanji, and popping the Jozu because he's at 4. Very, very powerful interaction there. I noticed I was going for the Monet there. I could have played out the Monet, but I'd rather save the Sanji and keep my hand at least decent against this blue player here. Now, yes, they could hit me with a Pudding, but I have 6 cards. It doesn't really punish if you're at 5 or less. It doesn't... Pudding barely punishes at 6, but it is technically still punishing your opponent. But at 5, you know, that's where you want to try to be at usually. Okay. They play out a Buggy. We're just seeing what they're going to do here. That is a negative 1,000 power Trafalgar Law, so they can't do too much with that. They're going to Red Rock my Rayleigh off the board. That's unfortunate. Seems good, though, for them. They're going to set cards with Buggy. Then they set a card with Sengoku. I don't think that was necessarily... Maybe they set that to their top card, Red Rock, to draw a card, and then play out Sengoku. Not sure. They're going to swing it for 6. We'll give them a 2k. I don't want to take anything too greedy right here. And guys, this board is nothing, right? This board is literally nothing to me. These are just little tiny characters. Okay? So I think we might try to slam down a Caesar Clown here. But it's kind of scary if it whiffs, right? And lo and behold, it did. It absolutely whiffed. So, yeah, that was less than ideal, right? That was less than ideal. We do have a 7-cost body. We can play out a 3-cost Sanji. I think I should swing first. Oh, could play out the Monet. Okay, I like that. Yeah, we'll -1 to the blocker. We'll swing for 8. We'll pull it back, pop the Sengoku, and then let's see what he wants to do. Gives us a double 2k to get out of it. As long as we get rid of that Sengoku, because when they start bouncing back Sengoku, he still has the 4-cost law in his hand, guys. As long as we keep getting rid of the Sengoku, I think we're going to be okay. Okay, so he's going to swing in for 6 there. We're going to take that one. I think we counted out of the 5, took the 6, and that was his whole turn. Now we have a dragon for closing the game out. That is very nice for us. And guys, here we go. I'm going to keep popping everything on the board. And yeah, what's he going to do, right? Once I keep doing that, he's in trouble. So I think I have an 8 Dawn left. So I'm going to play out the Virgo to look for some cards. Found Smiley. That would have been nice to cheat out earlier, right? Play out the Newgate, add a Dawn there, pop that card. It's all gone. The board's gone. They're down to 4 cards in hand. They do have 10 Dawn left. This would be okay, pause. So GG to my opponent. But this would have been the turn to drop like a 10-cost Kaido, right? 10-cost Kaido here would have gone crazy, but would it have been enough? I don't know. I don't know if it would have been, and I'm talking about the 10-cost draw 4 Kaido. I don't even know if it would have been enough in this situation, because notice he has no 2k counters in hand. In his life, he has no counters coming either. So if he did use this entire turn right here to drop 10-cost Kaido, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. This turn, I'm just going to drop Dragon and just, like, mush him, right? Just completely run him over, and he won't be able to remove all the cards on my board on the following turn. I mean, at least more than likely he wouldn't be able to, and establish a blocker. He'd go down to 0 life. So that would be my idea there is like, okay, swing 8, swing 9, swing 9. We see his hand. He wouldn't be able to get out of it, even after drawing cards from taking the hits. He'd be down to 0 life, And then, well, I guess if he had played out the 10 cost Kaido, he probably would have gotten out of one of those and gone down to 1 life, right? Because he would have drawn 4 cards, right? So theoretically, let's say he would have gotten out of at least the 8K attack and then taken both 9s and gone down to 1 life. Well, on the crackback, I still have 3 1K counters in hand, which is nothing special, but I should be able to save at least one of my characters on the board. And then, like I said, next turn, what's he going to do? You know, he'd have to do some crazy stuff from there. But whatever the case is, good game. That was a close one. Boa was actually very close to stabilizing. But if we can keep pulling back the Monet and popping the 5,000 power characters, we're in a pretty good spot. Okay, speeds on 2x. Here we go against Red Purple Luffy, guys. We got a game versus Red Purple Luffy as Red Blue Caesar Clown. We're going to start off, again, going second every time, guys. And I think I would rather go first, but I never could get it. Virgo, we're going to drop that down first, do a search. We have Monet for the next turn. Yeah, that Usohachi's not going to survive, bud. Right here, we're going to pull that down. Or drop the power, but it didn't matter anyway. Swinging for 9 into 6 here. And let's see what they do. They're going to counter out very aggressively. I do not think that was the right play, guys, to counter out that aggressively this early on. And they play out a Gene Bart. They're going to ramp a Dawn. They're going to swing for 7. I think we should probably take this one. Yep. And now next turn, I think we should do another Monet play. Just an entirely, a whole nother Monet play. Oh, or this. Okay, we could pass that, but that's a pretty good play too, establishing the bigger body, especially now that we have their hand size so low. Okay, they play out the Gene Bard again. Sure. Now, that hurt. Trafalgar Law, that did hurt. They got a Caesar Clown and something else there. That was unfortunate. That was frustrating, right? But hey, well played. But that does take up deck space where it's like, okay, you know, what's the idea behind it? You have to really make space in your deck for it. So I swing it for 6. They take 1. I swing it for 6 and then 7. They took 1, counted out of the other. And here we go. I play out the Caesar Clown, cheating out the Smiley. That was a pretty decent tempo play for us. We're at 3 life. We're not really at jeopardy of losing right now. So what are they going to do? They're going to go 9 into 7. I am not letting him have that card for that. He's going to have to do more than that. He's going to go 7 into face now. We will take that. We couldn't get out of it anyway. But now, does he even have enough to get through what we have? You know, that becomes the question, is like, okay, does he even have enough to survive here? And it looks like I'm going to go with a safer play. Oh, very nice. Virgo, we grab another Monet. That was the card I think we lost, by the way, guys, when he hit us with that Trafalgar Law. It was a Monet. So, okay, we're going to go 9 into 7 here, pulling back the Monet, popping the Trafalgar Law blocker. Now we're going in for 9, and we're going in for 9. We just absolutely punished this dude right here, guys. He did survive, but what's he going to do here? His only chance is the 10 cost Luffy. 10 cost Luffy would probably just win him the game on the spot. Well, that's not 10 cost Luffy. Okay, so let's pause and talk about that. If he uses 10 cost Luffy, this is what that would look like. You swing 8 with the Eustace Kid, and you don't even use the effect of Eustace Kid, just a blanket 8, right? I'm going to take that one, right? I'm going to take that hit. And then he's going to come in with the leader swinging in for 7. Okay, I'll 2K, 1K out of that one. And then on the next turn, he's going to come in with the leader again and the 10 cost 12K. And at that point, I don't think I'd survive, guys. It depends on what's in my life. But I don't think I'd survive from that. So he's going to swing for 8. 8, 9, 9, I think is what he can do here. Or he can do 8, 9, 10. He can go swing 8, swing 9, swing 10. I have enough to get out of a 10, but I'm going to get right out of this one and say, okay, you know, what now? You know, the game's pretty much over. He's going to swing for 9, return a Dawn, go up to 7K. It doesn't matter. He has 1 Dawn left. I could just swing for 9 and game's over. I want to see what was on top of my life as well. Okay, so I swing for 9. And let's see what was on top of my life. So, yeah, it was just a 1K and a 1K. So, like I said, if 10 cost Luffy was his one saving grace there, that would have got him out of that really sticky situation. Okay, we got one more game, guys. Volume's off. Speed is on 2x. We got a game versus Green-Yellow Trafalgar Law. I really like Green-Yellow Law, guys. I'm not going to lie. But Caesar Clown's been fun, guys. Caesar Clown has been fun. It seems a little gimmicky at times, but it's really not that bad. So we're going to finally get a Virgo search. We went second every game, guys. And again, I think we would kind of prefer to go first. Like, I made a pretty nice odd curve for the deck. But that's okay. We're going to attach that there, swing in, pull this back, popping things. You know, it's like after the 5 or 6 game mark with these new leaders, I start really feeling out like, oh, so that's how it's supposed to work. And it starts becoming more fluent. It starts making more sense. Now I know you pretty much every turn, you want to use your leader effect to stabilize the board, right? So pretty much every turn, Monet's coming down, I'm popping something. Like that's my logic, and I just go aggressive, 7+ at face. So they're going to go, they're going to play out the Capone Gang Beige here, putting a Jory Bonnie to life. They swapped out a card and put the Jory Bonnie to life here. We're going to swing for 7, but guys, I don't know why I didn't. Hang on, let's see what I choose to do here. I think I should have popped that Beige guy. I'm just going to be honest. This is the wrong play. Pause. That's just the wrong play. It's fine playing out 1 Sanji, but playing out 2 makes no sense. I could play out the Monet right now to do the -2,000 to the, or -1,000 to the Beige. That part doesn't matter. I just need a character to bounce back. Bounce back the character after swinging 7 into face, getting that Bonnie off the top of their life, and then playing out 1 Sanji or a Caesar Clown. So again, let me explain why this was the wrong play. It's like some people might think, like, yeah, but at least you established 2 bodies. No. We need to stay aggressively attacking into their life because they just set that card there for a reason. They set they might not have. They might have just set the top card there to draw a card, like just to cycle out their life from their hand. But the point is they have a Capone Gang Beige on the board. We can take that out, and he can bounce that back to his hand later. So we played directly into him being able to pull back a 2K counter to hand we should have punished him for. We allowed him to keep that top life card when we could have swung for like 8 or 9 and really punished it. Again, punishing him in 2 ways. Taking the card from his life and taking the card off the board and still establishing tempo with a 3-cost body. So it was just strictly a play mistake there, guys. The better play there was play out the Monet, pop the Beige, swing for at least 7 at face, pull back the Monet, and then play out a Sanji or the 4-cost Caesar Clown. I like Caesar Clown a little bit better because it has more insurance. Like on KO, Sanji and Caesar Clown, the blue one, those both have insurance where like on KO they get an effect. However, I think the Caesar Clown one's a little bit better in this situation. Because I have plenty of cards in hand, right, guys? I have plenty of cards. They're going to play out the Jory Bonnie Searcher, the Jory Bonnie 3-cost blocker. They're going to reset the Jory Bonnie there. And here we go. They're going to play it out. They're going to lock down one of my Dawn. Very well played there by my opponent. They're going to swing for 7. We will counter out of this. We're not taking that. Oh, that was a nice card, guys. That was a nice card to get. However, is that what we want to play right here? I don't know. There's even an idea for going for a lethal here, guys. Watch. Let's see what we choose to do here. Okay. Again, we need to see what our opponent does as well. But there is an idea here where I can even just go for lethal. Like, let me just swing for 6 and see what they do. See if they want to give me a 2K. Okay, well now I can just pull that card back with my leader effect and pop the Jory Bonnie blocker and do things from there. Okay, we'll swing it for 6 more. So since they're giving us counter power from hand, I think it's fine to just, keep doing that. Okay, they give us 2 cards from hand for free. Now we can play out a Jozu. We can do all kinds of stuff here, right? I think we're going to play out the Jozu, bouncing back the Bonnie. We'll swing in for 6. Another idea there would have been to play out another Virgo. They're going to give us the blocker. They have 0 cards on the board now. This is not where Green-Yellow Law wants to be, and I would consider like my plays suboptimal this game. So please be nice in the comment section, guys. I'm not saying this was the best play. We're still learning these new leaders, and there's a lot of different play lines. Okay, they're going to play out Trafalgar Law. They're going to set their top card to a Cavendish. They're going to cheat it out, and they got their 2K counter back. That's what I was saying, guys. That was what was so frustrating about me not making the good play earlier. Excuse me. It ended up going like right. It ended up trickling way down the line of the game where it's like, man, I just sometimes that's what happens, guys. You'd be surprised. One little play mistake can cost you so much. Okay, I just swung for 7, got 2 cards out of hand. They're down to 2 life. They have 4 cards left. Guys, we could just go for lethal here. We can just go for lethal. I'm not sure what I'm thinking of. I'm probably trying to find some other cool ideas, like trying to, try some other ideas out with the deck. Okay, but I think the right call here is just go 7, 7, 7s. Like, just go 7s across the board, see what they give me. Okay, that one went through. Okay, any trigger? No trigger. Okay, why not just go 7 more? I have 9 Dawn still to work with. Nothing in my hand costs more than 7. Why not just play it out? It's like I'm trying to make my life as hard as possible here, guys. I'm not sure what's going on. Swing for 7. Okay, that gets all the cards out of their hands. So now technically, can't we just go swing 7 here with the Virgo and just all in? We'll swing for 6. Okay, they take it. Well, now we're going to go all in on the Virgo. Swing 9 into 5. They would have had to have 2K, 2K, 1K to get out of that. And I was just saying, like, no, they don't have it. They would have got out of the 6K for sure. But that was a good game to my opponent. I was not playing very well. Did not have the most optimal lines. But notice this game, we had a lot of cards in hand. So maybe the 3-cost Smiley is worth trying at some point. We'll have to do some experimenting and see. Okay, check out this spicy card in the Green-Yellow Laws deck. They're running Straw Sword, guys. That is a Hawkins Pirate Supernova, event. 2-cost main, rest a character. No cost restriction, rest any character, activate main for 2. And this is Supernova searchable. And then trigger, play up to 1 Supernova type character or stage card. Is there even a Supernova stage card, guys? I don't know. Play up to 1 Supernova type character or stage card with a cost of 2 or less from your hand. Or maybe they're saying you could play a stage, right? So a Supernova type character or a stage card. Maybe that's what they're trying to say. I don't know. Anyway, very spicy card. I do like that. Resting a character like that, very, very strong. All right, well, that was it for the games, guys. That was it for the games for today for Red, Blue, Caesar Clown. Like I said, I think I ended up making this list. I think, or maybe I got it from somewhere. I either got it from gumgum.gg, TopDecks, OnePieceTopDecks.com, or I just ended up getting a deck from there, modifying it, messing around with my own ideas, and just making it my own around this. But whatever the case is, I do think the leader has more potential than I originally gave him credit for. But I feel like they need another card like this in the deck. Like, I actually wish this 2K counter is an absolute, like, it's like an abomination or something. They should not have done this. This should be a 2-cost 3K counter, guy, or 2-cost 2,000 power 2K counter that gives at least minus 2,000. I'm sorry, like, this card should not be this bad when a card like this already exists, right? Like, this is a 1-cost 0 power 2K counter that does minus 2,000 power. Why does the 3-cost do less when it's like... I'm sorry, I understand they're trying to build it around this idea for balance. Like, yeah, but you can search this up with Punk Hazard, and you can use it with the leader's effects to do all these things. Like, yeah, I don't care. I'm sorry, it's still underpowered. Like, this card is still underpowered for being a 3-cost 3K that does this, and it's basically leader locked to this card, right? Because now, why would you run this card? I have a 1-cost version that does minus 2,000 power. And even when you go over to, like, you know, my favorite Revo Army. Hang on, guys. There we go. Let me just type in Koala. If you go over to Kiala, here we go. Koala. If you go over to, you know, Koala, this is a 2-cost 3K with a 2K counter on it that does minus 3,000 power. And this card was so strong they locked it to Revo Army. Okay, well, that's fine. Now give us the 2-cost 3K locked to Don Quixote Pirates, or not Don Quixote Pirates, Punk Hazard. That gives minus 3,000 power into 2K counter. Like, literally just reprint this card. Literally just reprint this card with this picture and this name and these types and change it to, you know, the instead of Revo Army, be Punk Hazard. And, I mean, some people might think that that's not original, right? Like, yeah, that's not very original. It's like, okay, really? Are we going to talk about original when these cards already exist that we know of? Like, I got to show you guys what I'm talking about. Building Snake. We're just going to add this so I can show you guys. You got Building Snake. Where's the other? Where's Gordon at? You guys know where I'm going with this, right? Raise Max and Gordon. Okay, so these 3 cards: Raise Max, Building Snake, Gordon. These are all the exact same card. They are all 1-cost, 2,000 power, minus 3,000 power for the turn. Okay, everyone, and they bottom deck themselves. Each one of them do that, right? Okay, well, if that's the case, why couldn't we just make this a Koala, like we were saying with or like I was just saying with in the Revo Army version of Koala? Like, you know, you guys know what I'm trying to say. Make this like the Koala for this deck. Make it a 2-cost, 3,000 power, 2K counter on play, minus 3,000 power to a character if your leader is Punk Hazard. I just think the card is severely underpowered. I was very disappointed with this card, but at least it's a searchable 2K counter with some power reduction. I guess that's better than nothing. But again, why not just run your Otamas, you know, and just pull back cards like the Sanji, you know, whatever else you have to. Monet is incredible, and I think there needs to be another card like this that is a 2K counter. Like, I think there needs to be, and even stat it a little bit higher if they have to, right? Like, make it into like a 3 or a 4-cost card. Make it into like a, I'm just going to give an example, guys. What if they made it into a 4-cost, make it a 4-cost 4K. So it's like understated, so we can make it a 2K counter with a powerful effect, and have it be activate main, rest this character, and give minus 3,000 power to a character for the turn, and then attach 2 Dawn to your leader, right? Like where it's a much more powerful effect than this one, but it's something else to play, or even a 3-cost card. That'd have been good as well for the odd curve. Whatever the case is, I think the deck was running well. I did like having the Monkey D. Dragon, Silver's Rayleigh, the Ben Beckman, and the Newgate. I think this little combo here was very strong, and Jozu was actually very, very valuable in this deck, because it allows us to get more mileage from our Virgo. Like, okay, we'll drop down Jozu, pull back Virgo, bounce back there, dude. Your turn. We've got a 7,000 power beater on the board now. And then next turn on curve, Silver's Rayleigh, pop what you want to and just go about things from there. Also, Monkey D. Dragon is kind of decent as well with the leader effect, because we can play him out for 8, attach free 2 Dawn to our leader, and now we're using our leader effect if we have a card to pull back. And that was the big thing. Let me say that. The big thing about this deck that was making things very complicated for my play lines is if I don't have a character to pull back with Caesar Clown, then I don't get to use the effect, right? So not making it where we can pull back this Virgo, like at least make it a 2-cost 3K Virgo, like brand new. Let me say that. Okay, guys, we're about to remake this list. I'm just ranting and raving. Okay, number 1, this Mocha should have been Koala. Okay, but the Punk Hazard version of Koala. And then this Virgo should have just been brand new. Like, let me go to Black real quick. This should have been a 2-cost, 3,000 power, 1K counter brand new that does a top 3 search and puts the other 2 on the bottom of the deck in any order, right? Like, just let it be a well, see, I will say this. Other decks wouldn't have been happy with that, right? Like maybe Smoker and well, that's probably it. Smoker and potentially Red Purple Sugar. But hear me out. They should have made some type of version for Caesar Clown and make it where it's a 2-cost 3K that can do a top 3 search and then bottoms the rest of them, just so we have a way to do a search to pull back with our leader's effect. I just think that would have been clutch, and then we could have had a lot of hand advantage, and then the 3-cost Smiley we were just looking at, let me go back to Smiley. This guy would have been very decent then, right? Because then we're like generating this crazy amount of hand advantage, and it would have been really cool in that way. Either way, those are the 2 main revisions I would like to see for this list, but it's not that it's going to happen. I just wish it was like that, some type of 2-cost searcher. Right, guys, that's about it. I think I'm done yapping. I think this list is pretty decent. Again, I can't remember if I made this one or if I modified it or if I got it from a website. I cannot remember, guys. The past week has just been a blur to me because I've been playing so much OP10. I still have people. Hey, real quick, a lot of people keep asking me, please make green purple Dofi. It's in the works, guys. I just have to get through the list right now, guys. Listen to this. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have like 6 different videos already planned. I'll try to squeeze green purple Dofi in before I do all these that I have already planned out. Just be patient with me, guys. Trust me, I really want to play green purple Dofi right now. He looks real strong. He looks real strong, guys. I'm just going to say it. So, yeah, we'll mess with that, though, when we get to it. Just be patient with me. All right, I'm done. This is the list that I recommend for now. If you guys have a better list, by all means, recommend it in the comment section below. Tell me what you thought. I know I had some rough plays today, guys. Please chill with that. I get it. I was even trying to say it as we were playing. I was making some very suboptimal plays. I'm still getting used to running all these new leaders, so bear with me, okay? All right, that's it. We're done. I'm done. Okay, let me bring up the playmat page, guys. Thank you so much to everybody who supports the channel, guys, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, being a part of the community, hopping on the Discord, sharing Red, Yellow, Sabo stats, whatever you're doing, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Big shout out to the VV Pirates playmat supporters over here. Thank you guys so much for supporting me in that way. Hope you're enjoying your playmats. And then, of course, now we also have the VV Pirates YouTube members. Guys, we stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, okay? If you miss a stream, not a big deal. If you become a member, which is $3 a month, you're going to be able to watch any of the old VODs, any of them. And these streams, remember, they're Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So that's 3 extra, days of content. Well, not really even extra days because I still put out my daily video on those days. But each one of those videos, those streams, are 3 hours each. They go from 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. So that is an extra 9 to 10 extra hours. I keep saying extra. That is an extra 9 to 10 hours of content. Okay, if you're interested, that's the way to do it. Become a YouTube member. It's $3 a month, and you can watch all the VODs at your own leisure. Okay, but big shout out to everybody over here on the VV Pirates YouTube member page. There are other people I have not added yet, but yeah, I'm trying to keep that updated as best as I can. Okay, and then last but not least, of course, the VV Pirates patron page. Thank you to everybody on here. These are people that literally just donated to me just to help out for no other reason. They literally are just trying to help out, trying to keep the dream alive, keep the dream going, keep the channel going, and all that good stuff, okay? All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, guys, peace.